But well, some jet skis were out. See, they're parked over there. So let's unstrap the phone here. Let's see. Anybody there? Let me see. Oh, somebody. Let me see who that is. What bike do I do? Mr. Bolton. What's that? I will show you. Let's unstrap the tripod. And we're going to hook some top water. Now, mind you, I'm hooking top water for gar, so if we don't see any rollers, ain't like we're dink fishing today. We're looking for monstro. And the family got mad at me because I'm not been wearing a helmet, so I gotta look for a helmet. I'll have to go online this evening. This is the bike. It's got a holster for the fishing pole, and we're throwing big top water today. That's a handful of bait, huh? I'm gonna snag him in the fucking face with that one. And let's go see if there's anything to snag. Yep, that's the moped. See, there's some guys over here. Did they take off already? Oh yeah, they pulled out. There was a couple trucks parked there with jet skis and all, so they've already stirred up the area. But I'll make a couple blind casts right now to juice the line up, and then I will sit and wait. Water's up halfway decent. I didn't even look at the tides before I came out. I didn't care. I just wanted to get out and cool off and go for a ride. So, some shit floating there. Yeah, no mullet jumping, no nothing. Usually there's some activity. It's been pretty dead the last few times down here. But let's get ready and throw this out. Let's see if I can put this where you might be able to see what's going on. See what's going on. We'll go over here. So you can't have shit like that on shore sticking up in my way. Plus, it's a long way down right there. See? The tip of the pole ain't touching. It's over 6 feet down to the water right there. So now, mind you, if I hook a decent sized one, I'm going to have to walk the dog all the way down there to the boat ramp to try and land it. I'm not going to jump down there. I only got on little shorty boots, man. The water's like caca. All right, let's see. I'm going to look at chat once real quick, and then I'm going to get busy. Mr. Bolton, how's it going? All right. And there's Miss Beth, Mr. Lucas, Sny River. Howdy, man. Ain't seen you in a while, buddy. All right, that's it. That's good. Let's see what we can do here. Now, mind you, I'm just fishing for bluegill. All right. Get your big ass bluegill on this fucker, huh? All right, let's put a cast out here. You gotta be careful to throw it all the way across. Get this line all juicy. Let me see. I don't know. Can you see that? Not bad, Mr. Bolton. It's been a hot day, so I wanted to come cool off. Oh, there's some bait in the water. See that school of bait? Look. See, they were around that pile of shit floating out there. Now they're moved up like a bunch of Dorado on a kelp pad out in the deep blue sea. And there was something just surfaced right there. See something rip through them. Don't worry, I'll send it on the way out of here, buddy. And I go up that little dirt road and catch some air up onto the cement. All right, now set this and let me reset this and see if you can. All right, let's make some casts. A couple more blind casts. All right, there's movement up there. Baits is hovering around that kelp patty. There's some more bait across over there too. All right, good sign the bait's back up in. I got my heavy duty bluegill gear out today, boy. Tell you what. So, the ball of bait's just doing circles around that little kelp patty right there. That little bit of shit floating in the water there. Let's see if it'll focus. Is it in focus? I don't know. Let's see. Back on the water. No, I'd rather, then it moves around, it gets blurry and shit, man. I move around too much. I got it on a tripod here. I can just set it down and get everything in the picture. That chest mount is kind of sterile, man. Same with the head mount. Now, diving underwater shooting tuna with a spear gun, a head mount works great because you're swimming in a horizontal position and in pursuit. Out here, especially vertical like this, all you see is this with the head mount. You don't get to see nothing, man. So I'm waiting to see some fish roll. That was the whole thing, coming out to target fish with this topwater. When I see one roll, then I'll throw on it. But we got some bait right up there. You can see a riff in the water. There's a little wind riff, but there's schools of bait churning. See, like out here, here's a couple schools. I've seen when this whole place is just swarming with bait, man. And there's be crashing in it. Ain't nothing crashing it right now. All right, move it. Yeah, I watch these guys in their kayaks with a hand mount and all, and it's just so sterile, dude. Are you looking at the kayak and you don't get to see nothing, man? I like to see where they are and shit. I know. See, look at that school of bait right there. There's a bunch of little micro fry. Oh, there, one just ripped right there. That was either a bass, a little speckled trout, or a little redfish. They're all mixed up in here. Look, you can see on the other side over there. Yeah, like salmon, huh? I wish they were salmon. That'd be fun. I'd like some fresh salmons. See, there's a school of bait right there. And then out there, that whole riff line is bait. Well, I'm calling it bait. What it is, it's a bunch of fry from whatever spawned in here. Oh, another one just thrashed right there. And there's another school right there. All right, I'm going to set this up on the edge, and I'm going to cast out across that bait. See if you can see it. Let's see a big old gar come up and grab this topwater. Crush it. I think I got about an 80-pound mono leader on this with 50-pound braid. It ought to hold them. There's a rip one out there again. Oh, there's a big school of bait right here. That was about an 80-yard cast. This reel's made for saltwater fishing. That's why the clicker makes noise. So when you're in the cockpit, someone on the flying bridge can hear you winding down. It's just a little dinky saltwater reel. 2-speed though. That way I shift it into low for cranking this top water. I don't want it going too fast. No, this one here, the clicker will go on even louder. And this clicker, like I said, it's built in because this is a light line class 2-speed for big game fishing. And when you're in the cockpit winding and somebody's up on the flying bridge and they're not looking, they can hear you wind down on it. Now I can make it where the drag will pull silent or the clicker will be on the drag. But as far as cranking it in, it's going to have a low tone and a high tone. See, there's the button to turn it on and off. If it's off right now, if I turn it on, it'll be even louder and it will click on the cast. Watch. Okay, on, I'll make a cast and you'll hear it scream. See, now it's even louder. Clicker off, pseudo clicker off. So, yeah, this is what's called a Tierno 16. It's made for IGFA fishing with 16-pound mono. That's when you fish for line class world records, there's certain things you coordinate to the IGFA rules. Seeing is believing. Just like the little boy looking up under the lady's skirt. Seeing is believing. Now see that cast? No noise. He wouldn't have been so happy with this fucking big ass topwater upside his head, snagging him in the back of the head going by, huh? No, I wasn't up where he could see me though, so it was a bitch because he was cooking around the corner and he didn't see my motorcycle up there or nothing. He had no idea I was here. I'll cut him some slack. That's the perils of fishing down here. That's why I usually come down here during the week though. There's not people around, but it's summertime and he was just a lad. He was only a lad. Like the Boingo song, he was only a lad. He shook up the place though, didn't he? He was tearing it up. Now I've seen that, almost caught me about a 500-pounder with the boat and the angler. Shit, that'd have been a record on this 50-pound braid, tell you what. I was out in Alvin again today, Mr. Matt. Rebellion, howdy. Miss Tanja. Now, I've seen that young man out here a few times. He's cool. He's good. He would have slowed down if he saw me. I was surprised he cut to the inside, though. I started cranking, hoping he would swing wide around the blind corner, but he was on the inside. So on blind corners, you want to fucking swing wide. You don't cut the inside. But like I said, he wasn't expecting. Not a lot of people do what I'm doing right here. I just made a rather long cast there. Well, his boat probably weighed a little more than 500, but I was giving the boat 300 and 200 for that bulbous little lad. He was kind of chunky. He'd been feeding heavy on the fry around here. Oh, that's gnarly, Mr. Bolton. Oh, actually, this ain't this ain't the 16. This is the Tyrnose 8. So this is actually to be spooled up with 8-pound mono for offshore big game fishing. And a buddy of mine has a world record on Andy fishing line. On 8-pound line, he caught a 247-pound striped marlin off Cabo. 247 pounder on 8-pound line, man. Woo, doggy. And I got to eat some of that marlin because he kept it. We poached it. It was fucking great. It was the first time I ever poached any fish like that. It was a big bill fish, big saltwater fish. I had poached scallops before, but not that. It would not have been bad to poach it and then sear it a little bit to crust the outside. That's how I did the scallops. Well, there's a school of bait there. Man, he got lucky. I swear to God, he didn't run over my line. I ripped my rod tip up, and he came on the inside. And I lifted my line right over him, and the fucker went right under it. That was teamwork, man. I'll tell you what. Oh. Shit, I'd have been pissed if he sucked up my fucking braid in his prop, man. This is fucking Power Pro 50. It's not cheap. And I got about 300 yards of it on here, because I run a short leader and I'm spooled up from the core so I can run big fish all over God's green earth. Can't wait to come up here bowfish. My visitor is going to be here from the 21st of July to like the 30th or so, from like the 20th to the 30th. So we're going to have 10 days of dorking around. He booked his flight yesterday. So the tide's pulling out a little bit. The water has gone down since we've been here. What's that? I'm holding my pole in the left hand here, trying to... Scallops are good, yes. 9-foot sturgeon and 12-pound Andy, 2-hour fight. Nice, man. I say one of my best fights was a 300-pound thresher on 30-pound line, and that was a 4-hour fight, dude. We hooked it at 8 in the morning, my partner and I, and we did hand the pole off to each other and took turns driving the boat and fighting. It took us 4 hours. It hit the boat at noon. There was a few videos of it on Bloody Decks, because gentleman I know that also used to build kitchens on he was a Bloody Deck member. His name was Mo Betta, and he was out there when we caught it, and he rolled up and filmed us fighting it and landing it. See, there's another jet ski out. They are tucked back in there. So there's probably a couple guys on a jet ski out there. But I don't know, can you see the bait across there on top? Or the packs of fry? I shouldn't call it bait because it's fry. Fishing for shad. Nice, man. Yeah, I've heard of those big shad, but I've never caught any. They got nice red meat, don't they? Salty, like an anchovy, but meatier and nicer, easier to get the bones out, I imagine. Man, they got gizzard shad over here. I'm from West Coast and I ain't used to those. I'm used to threadfin shad. They get up to maybe a quarter pound at the biggest. But out here they got gizzard shad, and I've seen some that were well over half a pound. I've never heard of anybody eating one though. I wonder if they eat them. Oh, dude. Is it on your channel? I'd like to see that if it is. I know if you're like me though, man, all my best catches ain't goddamn one of them on film, tell you what. Maybe pictures after. When I was in San Diego, I didn't do any YouTube and all. I have some shit caught on my GoPro, on my card in my GoPro. I got to fish out. And one card that had a bunch, I fucking lost it, dude. I had it on the drink, in the little drink holder between the seats of my truck. And I inadvertently set a, there's a shad, there's a mullet jumping. I inadvertently set a wet drink in the drink holder and picked it up and threw it away and fucked around. And later I got home and realized, damn it, man, I just threw away that fucking card. It had all kinds of good shit on it. And no idea where it was. I was working on a kitchen. So it could have been a trash can at Home Depot, trash can on the job. I don't know where the hell it went. I was pissed. I don't remember what it had on it, but it had good fishing stuff from San Diego offshore. Oh, and it had some when after my heart surgery and I was deckhanding. It had some of that. It had some big vermilion rockfish on there, man. And we were out trolling for tuna. I think there might have been some yellowfin on there. But customers wrestling them. Oh man, when my visitor gets out here, he and I've known each other 50 years. We have fishing stories that'll blow your mind. We used to, when we were in San Diego, I was trying really hard to catch a world record bass, and he used to fish with me a lot. We got some stories, buddy. In fact, I don't know how many of them he lost. I used to call him Tom Brokeoff. Every fucking giant he would get, he fucking broke off on it, man. We were only using 10-pound line all the time there, 10-pound Andy at all times. And he was using a little gold Penn International level line, the size of an Ambassador. And I was using an Ambassador 4600 or one of the first Lou Childer BB1Ns. And I used to wrap our sticks, so we were using little pool cues on them fuckers. We were not throwing fairy wands that buckle under the weight of a cast of a dinky ass little bait. It ain't happening. Well, a good couple mullet jumped down here, and there was one little one just jumped right there, so the mullet are moving around. I'm gonna make a couple more blind casts. I said I hate making a blind cast because I'll have a cast out there and then all of a sudden a fish will roll and I can't get in quick enough to re-throw on it. The trick is right when it rolls, I want to throw right on it, man, about snag it, you know? Just call me Mike Long. I put those up on my post about Mike Long because I knew him and I knew the guy that busted him, Kellen. In fact, my center console I bought from Mr. Kellen when he was a sales manager at AIM Marine, which was in Lakeside in San Diego. That was where I bought my Triton center console from Mr. Kellen. In fact, the bass I'm holding in that picture on Various Fish number 2, it starts off where I'm holding a bass. I'm in my waders and all because I was in my float tube, and I nailed that bass out over 50 feet deep, and it came up like a damn rockfish with its guts puked out, its mouth and its eyes bulged out, and I didn't want to release it because I knew it would be a floater and I didn't want anybody to see it. So I kept it underwater and paddled to shore, climbed out and kind of stuck him in the seat, the center of my tube, and put it over my shoulder and walked out trying to hide it. And Mr. Kellen was out there and he saw me and he yells, "Terry!" And I walked over. He saw that bass and he's like, "Oh, you fucker, why you keep..." I said, "Dude, I got it." I told him where I got it. And Miramar, we were in Lake Miramar. The record there is only 19 pounds, caught by Dave Zimmerly. But anyway, he's all, "Terry, you fucking asshole, why are you keeping that bass?" I said, "Dude, it came up like a rockfish. It's gonna fucking die, and I didn't want to leave it out there floating so anybody would know." He's all, "Oh, all right." No, Mr. Stu, no fish yet. Plenty of fish talk. I've seen a few fish. No monsters rolling though. But there's schools of fry all over. Look. There's schools of fry all over. Nothing crashing in them really. Seen one little school of bait fish right there. Had a little dink, maybe 2-pounder, look small, come up and smack it. Either a bass, a speckled trout, or a redfish. Couldn't really tell, but I could kind of approximate the body, and it head came out and did a little rip, but I didn't see it well. Look across, you can see it's a drop off right here, over about 7 feet down to the water level. Well, Mr. Stu saw me fishing here a number of times, but you can see the bait over there swirling. That's not all wind chop. All those individual little things are schools of fry, just like right there, that's school of fry. So normally there will be a few fish crashing in those out here, and there's really nothing right now. I've only seen a couple little molokai jumping. So, but I got to keep coming down here periodically to draw an accurate assessment so I know when they move in. Also, it's a big full moon tonight, so but the moon is swinging past. It's a post full moon, which that's the downswing, and fishing usually tapers off on that. The approach of the full moon often is when the activity will pick up. And when it's a full moon like that, and it's a good time of the year like this, a lot of times in the daytime it will shut down because they're out honking all night long. And sunlight and activity puts them down. So Tom Brokaw, when he used to fish with me, he knows we go out at night and the place would be alive. We go back in the daytime, you couldn't buy a fucking fish, dude. Everybody thinks the lake, "Oh, that lake's no good, you don't get nothing." Fuck, we go out there at night and rail a couple 10 fucking pounders, dude. And he was with me on a few of them, man. In fact, old Tom Brokaw, I hooked one fucking bass, and I'd hooked a bitch in the tail, didn't know it because I got tapped on my plastic worm right as the bass was going to grab it, and I set the hook. And the little bluegill that was tail tapping me, the bass inhaled it, but as he kicked away, the hook hooked him in the tail. And I was fighting that son of a bitch, and I handed it off to Tom and let him fight it, and he turns to me and goes, "God damn, dude, it fights like an albacore." Because he was a saltwater fisherman at heart. And then we landed it, and it had the bluegill in his throat and a hook in his tail. I was going to mount him like that, but I didn't because I already had a fucking handful of them and had a few in the freezer as well. So it got sacrificed to the fish gods. And shortly after that, they all got released. I quit fucking around keeping any of them. I wasn't going to get them all mounted. I thought it'd be cool to have a wall, the 4 walls of a room with fucking trophy bass, nose to tail, all the way around all 4 walls. Oh, got all my ingredients for pico de gallo. Gonna make up a big ass bowl tomorrow. Heavy fish tacos. Andale. Rotate freezer stock. Fuck yeah. Rockfish and ling. Great. Tom Brokaw been with me offshore in San Diego when we would rockfish. I bring a frying pan, a gas burner, olive oil, have corn torts and pico already in a bag, and we'd make fish tacos right there on the rail of the boat. In fact, one of my Avet JX reels, the first time I took it out, old Uncle Tom Brokaw wrestled a big old mako in on it, and we split it because it was his birthday trip too. And he was pissed. He's like, "Oh, why I gave you half that fish? It was fantastic. I wanted the whole damn thing." I'm like, "Hey, fuck you, man. It's my boat, goddammit." God, nothing but fry in here, man. Well, the kelp patty that was floating there moved off, though. I said the tide's pulling out. Water level seems to be going down. That's right. Did you see that mullet jump right there? He's about a 12-incher. Yeah. Very low activity in here right now, man. Shit. I said, it's blistering hot out. I just wanted to come out for a ride and bullshit. Huck this top water around. I had it leaned up in the garage, and I was sitting there looking at it. I'm like, I'm going to go throw that bugger. As the picture fuzzy, I'm going to set this down and make a few casts. If it's fuzzy, that ought to straighten its ass up. Let me put it here where maybe you can see. All right, let me see here. Yeah. All right, let's make a few hooks. had professional overspin on that one. Had to correct it. All right. Oh, I'm just bluegill fishing, Mr. Smalls. Can't you tell? I got out my lightweight bluegill stick, you know, fast action Bucara, little tear nose 2-speed, spooled with 50-pound braid. Them big bluegill, I heard a guy today saying that he was catching bluegill and he's all, it's rip and drag. I was like, God damn, man. I'll bet it was. It was kind of a wimpy stick, though. You know, it buckles when I throw the lure. It wiggles all side to side and bends around like fucking wet noodle. All right, well, time to straddle the moped. let me get this shit in here. And it's a wide world of torts because we could be making fish tacos. No help from me, but you know. Tomorrow we'll be fish tacos, right? No, tomorrow's carne asada tacos. I already got the carne thawing out. This is what you do with old socks. You take your old socks and wrap the reels up so when you holster them, they don't go cling-clanging around and ding them up. See, this reel I've had pretty near 30 years. Not a scratch on it. I've never caught nothing on it. Yeah, right. Shit, Uncle Tom's probably caught a few on it. All right, well, let us row. Let's strap this back on here. Got to mount the steed from the proper side though. Oh. Uh-oh, mosquitoes are coming out, and I didn't spray down before I headed out. I actually didn't think I was going to be here that long. Whoops. Well, them Crown Royal bags are just too damn rich for my blood, tell you what. Uncle Tom used to use those, though. I don't think he's here. He would have said something. Especially when I mentioned Tom Brokaw. And that one he said felt like an albacore was on about 10.5. Or typical Lake Murray Cape Cutter bass. Have a look down here. Let me fix this. It's riding kind of crooked. Barely hanging on by the Velcro. There we go. All right, let's get ripping now. Ooh, bad motor scooter, said Ronnie Montrose. here we are. Time to go.